Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
or find our inner Breckenbrush shell.
Every week you mess it up somehow. Put respect on our name. Come on. Loving each other.
And finding our inner Barack Michelle.
We're Jay-Z and Beyonce. Who is you?
I'm Neil.
And I'm Nyambe.
And this is episode 387.
Yeah.
Be sure to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher, and follow us on all forms of social media at Black Love Matters. That's Black with no K. What's going on, baby?
I found a therapist. Wasn't that quick, y'all? I can't believe I found this therapist so quick. That means I must be getting good at this. Usually, I honestly in my head had a month set aside for me to meet with a few people before I found someone. But I met with Sis. She might be one of my best therapists I've ever had. I shouldn't say that because I think therapists come in your life and in your come in your realm for reasons of seasons. So I believe all my previous therapists were there for a reason and they got me to my next place. But this therapist is about to.
She about to change your life. Rock
You know how
world.
they say it get greater later? Shout out to Bevy Smith, the Bevelations. Therapy must also get greater later.
She about to fucking rock your world.
I think she is. So she's amazing. She's based in Detroit. She's a Black woman. I knew she was unique when, like, you know, we do our intro. She's like, anything about me you want to know about? I was like, honestly, I've drank the therapy Kool-Aid. Like, I'm ready to be healed. Iyanla fits my life. I know I got shit I need to push out. I'm beyond the point of blaming people. Like, I'm really trying to just work through my own shit. And she was like, cool. And I was like, well, tell me about like your like flow, right? Like, I'm open to it. That's what I told her. Like, I'm super open to it. Like, I'm not asking you because I'm looking for something particular. I'm asking just so I can just have more self-awareness, but I'm open to whatever it may be. And she was like, I would consider your non-traditional therapist. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, because I find that my patients of color, especially my women of color, they tend to are more successful or react or have, you know, stronger strides in their therapy when she as a therapist shares stories, right? Opens up about things may have happened to her, provide context, provide maybe options, where a traditional therapist is like, I'm not here to do that. You figure all that shit out. But she's like, it's not that I'm telling you what to do, but it's just more conversational. It's more dialogue. And it's just more about like that trust building and establishing like that safe psychological safety.
Yeah.
That I was just like, let's do it, right? Because my other therapists, like, they were open and they would share stories or anecdotes, but not in which the way that this one did.
Because, you know, Nyambe have a good anecdote and monologue whenever y'all need it.
I love a good story. I love a good connection. I love a full circle. And she was just exactly what I needed. Honestly, I knew as soon as she came on the screen, I knew she was what I needed. You ever just seen her face to be like, oh, thank God.
You don't want?
You ever just be like, oh, thank God. Especially in the virtual space or on my cubicle warriors. I know y'all know this. Sometimes you can get on call people. You're like, this is going to be some bullshit.
But you seen them, it's like, these 3 words.
No, I was thinking Stevie Wonder, isn't she lovely? But just in our first session alone, we talked about forgiveness and what will forgiving myself look like, grieving. And the thing that really she got me to think about, again, not a revolutionary concept, but I think it's the way that she put it in my face, this idea of like having alone time to grieve. She said, oftentimes as Black women, we have this idea of perfectionism, and along with perfectionism is not along with perfectionism, it's hard to grieve when you're trying to reach this idea of perfectionism. And a portion of grieving is getting the energy out of you. And oftentimes that's through tears or sadness or sounds. And she said, Black women, we ain't the one to be hollering necessarily in front of everybody. So you need to go away, pick a weekend. She's like, I know you work up in Silicon Valley. That's how we got connected. Invest in yourself. And I need you to literally go and write out why you forgive yourself. Literally look in the mirror daily, hourly to say, what are you forgiving yourself for doing? Right. And before I was like on other stuff, like not singing or doing. She's like, no. You need to forgive yourself for being a bully, for talking negatively, for saying, like, you know, for saying, for shaming your younger self, for, you know, talking negatively and not being kind, like all those things. Or I'm just like, oh Lord, just like, then you need to just go away and cry and let it out. And then let's come back and let's do some more work. So it was just such a good conversation. From what am I unpacking that well enough, Nerum? Could you tell a difference with me and this therapist or no?
Mm-hmm. You know, yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Why you said
Just
that?
based off her name, I was like, oh yeah,
Her name feels like healing.
yes.
In her name, you can't place if she's like 20 or if she's 60. She can be any one of those.
Right.
Oh,
And
you
then-
say something there?
And then her, her Psychology Today bio.
Oh, you're gonna talk about in your update. Neerum's also looking for himself a therapist, because if I'm getting myself together, who else gonna have to get themselves together?
Well, I've been in therapy longer than you.
I know, but being in Michigan adds another sense of urgency to everything.
It does.
Don't get me wrong, Michigan be like the best of times, the worst of times. On top of this therapy, so I'm having my first therapy session. So as y'all know, we're staying with my parents, and we have like a multi-level home. So it's enough space for all of us to be free, relax, do work. Traditionally, when we have therapy sessions, Neeram and I will go in our bedroom so we can close the door, because no one traditionally bothers us in the bedroom, and it's on the top floor and no one's up there.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have enough time, because I actually set up the session between some work, because I wanted to get in with her ASAP. And I told Neeram, like, can I have the basement? Because that's usually where we'll do our work at. And Neeram like, yeah, I'll go upstairs. I'm going to go lay down across the bed. I got this sinus headache. Cool. I'm talking to her. We get in therapy. All of a sudden, downstairs becomes the club. This is the effects of living in a multi-generational home. Between Mabel, my parents, and the kids from the neighborhood. I don't know where these kids came from.
Mabel got friends.
And meanwhile, Neeram sleep. So it first started with my mother. She slithered downstairs looking for something. She was quiet. She really wasn't paying me no attention. Our basement big enough that I can have my therapy session, and she can be on the other side and she won't even hear me. So I wasn't even strutting that anyway. And I went at the part of the therapy session when I was talking about her anyway, so it didn't matter. Like I ain't care if she heard what I was saying. She was good. She being respectful, quiet. 3 minutes later, this is a pseudonym. Tyrell. Tyrell supposed to be my daddy. Tyrell. Where's my boots? Ma'am, I'm on a call. Even if she don't know it's therapy, which she don't, you see my headphones on and you see my computer up and I'm talking to the screen. You think it's appropriate to then yell through the vent for my father to come down? Strike one. Strike two. Here comes our dog, Mabel, running down the stairs, jumping up and down. And I'm like, what is wrong with her? Usually if I hit her with the no, she'll sit down. But like, she was literally like, mama. In my head, she was just like, mama. 3 seconds later, who I hear? Mabel got friends. Neeram, you want to tell Mabel about Mabel friends, or should I tell him about Mabel friends?
So the neighbors' grandkids come over here
Every day.
and ask for Mabel
Every day.
like she's a little kid.
Every day.
They be down the street. And next thing you know,
Y'all know Mabel don't like no knocks at the door.
ding dong.
Then Mabel start hollering.
Brr, brr,
So you can't even pretend she ain't home.
brr.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can Mabel come play? The hell you mean? Can Mabel come play?
And who behind us? Mabel.
Mabel. And then your mama, yeah, y'all come on in, baby. Come
Yeah,
play with Mabel.
Yeah, and they come play with Mabel and they come play her toys. Then Mabel get tired.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess Mabel got tired, was coming to tell me I don't want to play with them no more. And so then they come downstairs.
Mabel.
And they keep y'all can't see me. They waving at me. And I like did a nod. And
Head nod.
and then they talk a lot. Are you in school? We're not allowed to talk to other people in school either. What type of school are you in? But we're not supposed to talk to people in school. I won't tell. Fourth strike. It ain't supposed to be 4 strikes. Or I'm on 3. 3 strikes, you're out. Here comes my father. Here comes Tyrell finally. You remember my mother was called Tyrell. He wasn't answering. You know why he wasn't answering? He was at Popeyes. So he come tumbling down the stairs. It's not quiet. Tumbling down the stairs with a Popeyes chicken sandwich in his hand, cracking the bed, talking about, this for you. You want some chicken? This for you. I had to tell mother, I said, can you excuse me? Excuse me, mother, sister Hiller. Excuse me, Hiller. I said, y'all, I'm in therapy and I need some space. I'm going to need everyone to go upstairs.
God damn.
And this right there, and my mom, I was just looking for my boots. Come on, babies. Come on, Mabel. She's so funny. Got the nerve to tell me I'm funny. Multi-generational homes. And mind y'all, it's not a norm for them to come down here.
No.
Like, that's not, they rarely come down because during the week, my mom's working, my dad works like towards the end of the week, like long hours. So usually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, he's resting during the week or like outside. So usually we're pretty good about like boundaries when it comes to that. When I tell you the basement was jumping, I literally had my headphones on, was talking to the screen, and people were at full voice asking about boots, Mabel come play, Mabel scared, Popeye's chicken sandwich. And then all of this is happening. Where Niram at? Sleep.
Because I got a sinus headache. You said you want the basement.
I said, Niram, you couldn't say, hey, Nyambi downstairs, like, taking a meeting. You couldn't just be explicit. You know my parents know I love therapy. You know, they be looking at me every time I say I'm in therapy. They be like, oh, you at your doctor again. You stay at the doctor.
But I said that before I went upstairs.
You told them I was in therapy.
Yeah, I closed the door and said, Nyambi in therapy. Or no, I said Nyambi in the meeting. And they usually be like, oh, okay.
And what they do this time? Everybody was in their own world. But I am still on this Mabel got friends though.
Mabel got more friends than you.
They'll come ask about her, and then they come and introduce. So it's like the little grandkid next door, and I think finally the other little one done came because they out of school or something. They literally came and was like, Mabel, this is Keisha. Keisha, this is Mabel. Mabel likes to play ball, and her favorite toy is red. But she got to take 2-hour naps after we play. See you later, Mabel. Because that's how my mom get them out. My mom be like, all right, Mabel got to take her 2-hour nap and eat today. And they be like, oh, okay. They was like, but we're not good at telling time. My mom was like, you got to ask your grandparents. And then one of the little kids went to my dad, was like, can you come get us in 2 hours? We don't know when 2 hours is. But they literally come every day, every other day. Mm-hmm. They are literally ringing that doorbell to come play with Mabel.
Yes.
And they play what, 45 minutes to an hour? Mm-hmm. And Mabel knows it too. Mm-hmm. She like play with them. I feel like she started getting her toys and shit. Yep. And be like, come here.
Like, come on, let's play.
Jesus. And then lastly on top of this, I just want to just give a little shout out. I don't think we're going to talk about this on Pillow Talk. I honestly don't have the emotional bandwidth. Just the continued genocide of Black folks in America. Take care of yourselves. Cubicle Warriors, I feel a call in Black Day coming in soon. Take space to cry, refresh, sleep, cook, do nothing. Really just try to find moments of Black joy. It's a lot going on. Like I said, this podcast, I don't have the emotional bandwidth to unpack it. We'll probably do some unpacking maybe Monday's episode of next week because we do need to talk about it. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to love on myself a little harder and not talk about it today. Gotcha. But I will say, make sure you're finding time to take care of yourselves. Cubicle Warriors, time to use that vacation time. Yeah. Or that sick time or that cares time or that sick leave, you know, whatever these companies say, or that cultural floating holiday, whatever it is, it's time to use it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If you have not had no Friday and Monday off, it's time for some long weekends. It's time for a Wednesday off. It's time, because I'm even thinking to myself, it's about time for me to take a little time off too.
Call in Black.
Call in Black.
I hear you.
Should we just establish it as a national holiday? National Call in Black Day.
Yeah.
Y'all want Niram and Nyambi to christen that day?
Yes, we should create it. Let
me go ahead and see what day I'm gonna do. It got to be a day where trauma's at its height, just from the bullshit.
Yes.
Jesus, what's going on with you now?
So, as Nyambi stated, I'm out here looking for a therapist as well. You know, I had to break up with my therapist out in California.
Say why? It wasn't a negative thing.
No, but the reason I had to, because, you know, she's like, yeah, you moving to Detroit, and you know, there's one thing I don't play around with. I said, what's that? She said, that license. I'm not licensed in Michigan. So yeah, this is going to be it.
Until you back.
Mm-hmm. Me. How I'm going to get healing?
There's a lot of therapists.
How I'm going to get healing?
What did she tell you to do?
She was like, you know.
Find one.
Yes. She said, you know, whenever you come back, I'll be here. I'll leave the light on like Motel 6. But there's one thing I don't play. I'll play around with the IRS before I play around with this licensure board.
Did you? Well, I'm assuming you're finding somewhere going through the process. You should send her the link. You had her email.
Yeah, I should.
You should be like, is this a good one?
What you think about this one?
Yeah, you know this person. You like the white people. Y'all know each other. So what were you saying? How was your process going?
So, after Nyambi found her therapist, I was like a day or so behind her because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna look for one too. And something about therapists in their little bios.
Yeah.
That does not drive me to course.
It's worse than like dating. Like I think this is the closest I can get to like online dating.
Right. So, you get extra points with me if you got like multimedia, a video, yada, yada, yada.
Tell people what you mean by their profile. Like some folks might not have looked for a therapist. What are you talking about?
So, there's a profile in the platform that we use to find the therapy through Nyambi's job. But also, if you go to Psychology Today, there's usually, find a therapist, and there's a bio that the therapist put about like their philosophies or like, their approach to therapy and things of that sort. And some of them just be so damn dry.
You should have been shady and brought some. That should be like the new Bot Store Chronicles. It should be the Therapist Chronicles.
Some of them just be so dry, and it's like, it don't move me to course.
It'd be like a copy and paste out of textbook.
Therapy is one of the great ways to help you. I help people
be happy.
I help people be happy and who are looking to take their life to extraordinary levels.
Ooh.
And it's like, what the fuck is this shit? So, since I'm in a D, I'm like, all right, I can finally get a chance to having a black man therapist.
Yeah.
But their bios and what they put in there didn't move me to course.
It was a little lazy.
It was lazy.
Yeah.
And if you lazy in this bio, I don't know what you're going to be like in the therapy session.
Lazy with you.
So I was like, I can't work with these brothers. I might have to put it on pause and then find another sister.
Yeah.
So I found second best because when Naomi's telling me out there, I was like, "Ooh, she a good one. Damn,
she is a good one.
I should have
went first.
I should have started looking for it first
because it's the Pat, me, and Niram said we'd never had the same therapist. I mean, eventually they'll probably figure it out, but we're not even gonna try to go down that rabbit hole.
I was like, "Ooh, you got the good one."
I did.
So I had to find another one, and she was good. It was
what got you excited about her?
She's like, I help overachievers and visionaries and and yada yada yada. I'm like,
and niggas who shut people out, how to unshut people out.
I was like, ooh, she was talking that shit, and I was like, okay, like I can roll with this.
You think she talking that shit? You silly.
Talk your shit, sis. And then she had a website. That'd be another thing.
Black therapists get Black therapists, black barbers, black stylists. Y'all have to get websites. It's 2021. How do you not Instagram's not good enough?
Oh my God.
You have to have a website.
So the fact that she had a website, that was cool. There was another therapist who was a black woman, but she was a little bit on the younger side.
Yeah. Younger ones could be good, but it's kind of with the healing you're looking for. I agree.
But she had a video and shit. I was like, oh, okay. She got a video and a website.
Yeah.
So, black therapists, though, y'all got to get together.
Yeah, I need to get them website. It be the black men, though. The black men therapists be mental health coaches.
But that was the thing, right? I was like, all right, I'm excited to find a black man therapist.
Yeah.
So I can talk this out, do warrior cries or whatever. I don't know what the hell black men do different. But I was like, all right, I'm ready for this. And then read their bio. I was like, this shit not moving me to course. Don't nothing about what they talking about in this bio make me want to say, yeah, y'all the one.
Did you look for black men outside of the platform for my job that I shared with you?
No.
You should look outside because a lot of times it still be connected. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times you can just like, oh, I have this benefit. And it's a really good benefit. A lot of times like, oh, yeah, just sign this paper. We can make it work. So you should look too. I mean, but you already got someone though. So see if you vibe with her. If you vibe with her, stay with her. But if you don't, try that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I might.
I've had nothing but black women. I don't even know what it be to get a white person. I need a business coach though, or I need like a business coach. That's what I need. And I'll probably have a white person do that. But I don't therapy. No.
You can hire me at $300 an hour.
Yep.
That's my going rate.
So are you excited about therapy or what? You got your appointment set up? What's going on?
Yeah, I have my appointment set up in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
She booked and busy.
That's a good sign.
She is. She booked and busy. So I have in a couple of weeks, and I'll let y'all know if she's good as my other one.
You can't compare. That's not fair.
Why not?
You can't compare.
Why not?
That's not fair. You can't compare.
I can.
Okay. I'm sure your previous one won't appreciate that.
Oh.
Have you reached out to the other one and be like, I got an appointment set up?
Nope.
I'm going to see how it goes. You should. You think she would be proud?
Mm-hmm.
You think she'd be surprised? She planning for you to come back in pieces.
I'm not coming back in pieces.
She gonna be like, come on in.
Come on.
Hard head, soft ass.
Cry into this bosom. Come
Exactly. All right, we're gonna jump into some pillow talk.
Mm-hmm.
I know we got a lot of questions in Shout Out Friday, so we probably do a brief pillow talk and then expand on Shout Out Friday. That sound good, Nero?
Yep.
Cool. Honestly, the only thing I want to talk about in pillow talk is This Is Us. Did you see Black and White Brother having it out?
That was the most passive aggressive argument I've ever seen in my life.
I loved it. Y'all know secretly Kevin is my favorite character on This Is Us. So far, y'all don't know, Kevin is the white brother, Randall the black brother. You remember they've been beefed out. You know, Randall going to therapy, and now his therapist was like, I can't help you. You need to go to the transracial adoption support group. God damn. I had to put the words. I said, that's what it is. Like, you know, somebody say something and be like, oh, I guess that is the appropriate way how to say that.
Yeah.
So he done went to the transracial adoption group and he ain't said nothing. Y'all know Randall loved to say something and loved to perform. He ain't say a word. But when I tell you the people who was in this group therapy, when they was telling the truth, shame the devil, laying it low and spreading it wide.
And that was getting it up.
Talking about, I wish my mama never put me up for adoption. I ain't like none of these white people. I ain't never liked their food. I ain't like they white. They was going in. Which is what you're supposed to do in therapy. And you can see that shit shook Randall to the core. But what Randall ain't realized is white Kevin over here getting grown. White Kevin over here is getting grown. He making amends with his God. He got these children. He doing better in his life. He forgiving himself. He must went to my therapist, I mean. And then when they got a little hotel suite in Malibu and screamed it out and came back a new being.
Yeah.
Because Kevin you just see the growth of maturity, right? You just see it already. So for example, the episode prior to, Kevin was basically going back and forth to be like, dang, I want Randall to be my best man. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do. And you know, the Uncle Nicky there. And he was like, oh yeah, so Randall gonna be your best man. And he was like, yeah, I gotta call. I gotta tell him. And he was like, you ain't tell him yet?
I'm gonna send him a text.
And he was like, yeah, he's gonna send him an email. And Uncle Nicky was like, your brother? Like, he was like, is he okay or what? He was like, maybe you should call him. And then Kevin called him. And they were asking, and my money was that Randall was, since he came from his transracial adoption group, that's the name of the episode, that I thought he was about to be like, no, white brother, white people is the enemy. I can't do it no more. Like, I thought it was going to be, well, when them blow up. And then Kevin be like, what was that? But it wasn't. He said, yes, of course. And then they sat on the phone silently, awkwardly. And then Kevin was like, thank you for saying yes. I'm so appreciative of you, my brother. I love you. But like,
we got to talk.
I don't want you to be saying this to me in this tension here. Like, we need to hammer this out. We need to figure this out. And Randall's like, I agree. And I think Randall thought, he was like, all right, I'll see you on Christmas. Kevin was like, I'll be there tomorrow. And he hung up the phone.
I'll see you soon.
Because you know Kevin rich. We be forgetting how Kevin can move. We be forgetting Kevin got real long money.
Right.
What would Kevin be equivalent to what star today? The guy who play Star-Lord on Guardians of the Galaxy or something, like just like a kind of douchey, seem okay, yeah, and it like kind of, it's just like. So anyway, now fast forward, they're all down in Philly, and Kevin comes with this nice white daddy prepared speech. You know, his daddy white. You know, you know what I'm saying. You know how Milo and
a good
monologue, and I'm sorry if I ever did that. I never wanted that. I know you black. I see you black. I used to be colorblind, and if I ever blah blah blah.
Right. I'm jealous of you. You the golden child.
Followed by the music, and then pause, and then Randall with a blank stare. He said, "Thank you, love." No, what did the kid say? Thanks, love.
Thanks, love.
And then Kevin was like, I done performed and gave you white man tear. And you don't forgive me? And then Randall go on his little monologue to be like, but Kevin, I'm black. That's basically the episode. And so then they go back and forth with like, just through their day of going forth of like, who got it worse, Kevin because he black, or who got it worse, white boy. I mean Kevin. I'm sorry. I mean Randall always gonna have worse, but like then who got it worse, douchey white boy who never lived up to his dad expectations. And it was kind of like just a back and forth oppression Olympics.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like, I forgot what was one line that Niram cracked up at me about me. He was like, what could I say that could be even worse to you, Randall? And I'm like, nigga. Like, how is the N-word not an episode? Like, that's what gets me about This Is Us. Like,
Because
clearly, nigga is what could be worse.
Nigga don't exist in
This Is Us. Like, if we really gonna get
Galaxy.
if we're really gonna get that buff, we're gonna tell me no one in that family has never slipped up and said nigga.
Not even Deja.
Not even like nigga does not exist. Like, I feel like even if they didn't want the white people to say it, I would have loved to see like a Deja say it and be like, yeah, my nigga, and then a little baby with the pop eyes be like, be their dad, be like, nigga, please. It reminded me of that episode like Bernie Mac.
When I said motherfucker.
Was it motherfucker? Or no, remember baby girl was like, nigga, please. Or nigga rich. Good rich.
He was nigga rich.
Yeah. I would have loved that This Is Us episode around the N-word. And like, of course, add the This Is Us sauce to it.
Mm-hmm. Randall with a long ass monologue. This word is so helpful. So hurtful.
Why would you ever say that?
Why would you?
And then here come Beth. I'm Jamaican. You like, y'all know how the Jamaicans do. The Jamaicans be like, that's them African Americans, them African Americans. So like that's sometimes the world we live. Like, it was a cute episode. It was fine. It was a nice bridge. I'm glad they addressed it. I think that's something I've been saying from season 1. I was like, how are we not going to address Randall as a black ass man in this family? And he not like kinda black. No, he black. He like
civil rights black.
He's civil rights black. Dry lips, bad lighting. Right when the lighting hit you bad, you look ashy. Black. And how has that never been a conversation? I low-key don't think he mad at Kevin. I low-key think he mad at white mama because it's not his brother's responsibility to like address that or bring that up. But it is your parents' responsibility to set the motherfucking tone in his house.
It is.
And white daddy, R.I.P., he can't do it because he going with the Lord. But Rebecca gonna have to figure her shit out.
She is. I think it's a lot. It's a lot.
Niram just wanted them to fight.
Yes, I think they need to tussle.
They didn't call but worse enough names to me.
No, they didn't.
I wish that you were never adopted, nigga. Like, it was just words they just about to say. Or,
right.
Oh, fucking white boy. White boy. Like,
nothing.
No name calling.
Douchey ass frat boy.
Boy, yeah. Oh, bro.
Right.
Oh, non-acting ass. He just told me he couldn't act. But he know that.
He can't. And everybody.
And I be confused with him in real life. Yeah. Oh my God. It was a funny thing. This old white lady. I didn't like that movie. You didn't do well in that.
And he's like, that's the one I got a Golden Globe for.
She was like, mm-mm.
Nope. That's not it.
So This Is Us was interesting. But what do you think about like the brotherly exchange or like, what did you think about that aspect of it, Nero?
I think they need to fight.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing. They need to fight. 2, I think, Randall's just going through a new level of wokeness.
Self-awareness.
Yeah. And
that we experience as teenagers.
Yes.
If not younger. And
if
he's in
not
his
longer.
40s.
And he's experienced this at a very
old
later
senior age, yeah.
At a later age. Which I think could bring up all of this stuff, and he already had a couple nervous breakdowns, so I can see this being.
He didn't have no nervous breakdown. He had a panic attack. A panic attack is not a nervous breakdown.
Oh, it felt like a nervous breakdown.
It's a symptom, but it ain't the thing.
I can see one of those coming.
You think you gonna think you'll have another one?
Yes, he got to thinking about what could have happened, things of that sort.
What you mean? What could happen?
Shit, if his ass would have stayed with his parents.
Yeah, what he created, the alternate empire,
yes.
Some word they used where he used to imagine that the librarian and the newscast people, because they was black, was his parents. But at the end, it looks like he was imagining like his real people there. I mean, it's a This Is Us. Y'all know I'm riding to the end.
Oh. Yeah. What did you think about it?
I done told you. I done told the whole damn story. Niram ain't really paying attention. Niram kept falling asleep on it.
What, This Is Us?
You kept falling asleep on This Is Us. We watched Queen Sugar and you stayed up. Y'all seen that on Want Blue going to that good school.
I'm sorry. Thoughts. Blue moving on up in the world.
Blue, go to DC.
Blue, take your ass to
Ralph,
DC.
I knew I like Ralph. Ralph Angel was like, and then here come I'm by. He could go on down to the Piggly Wiggly and be the manager of the store. Ralph Angel said, do the cry. Ralph Angel said, no. No.
I got more for Blue
Then what for
than
me?
Piggy Wiggly.
Blue. And then her Darla, it had a bad impact on me. No, crack did, Darla. Not the school.
Not the school.
She keeps saying it was just so much pressure, and it got me. No, Darla, that was that shit.
It was the shit you was on.
That shit is what got you on it, and you cannot project on your son
Right.
about you being on that shit. About him going to one of the best schools in the fucking nation for free.
For
If you don't send with his grandparents there, it's not like he's gone alone, going off to boarding school. You send Blue ass up north, please.
And then, of course not. Who? Not Nova.
Ooh,
Not Nova. What's her name?
Charlie Bordelon West.
No, the sister.
Yeah,
Nova.
That is Nova. Tara.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, you don't want to send them there because, they already poach all the black ones anyway and tokenize them and yada, yada, yada.
Speaking of the woman who done got a pedigree from an Ivy League school and got a national book out.
Didn't you go to Tulane?
Don't you got a book? Don't you got a New York Best Time Seller, whatever it's called?
Yeah.
It's gone. Meanwhile, on the ranch, spoiler alert, look like her boo
Is the
about
one?
to be on trial.
He sure is.
Talking about don't send Blue there, it's gonna taint them. No, bitch, that dick is tainting you. What? What'd you say? What is
A scheme that talk.
you worried about what school Blue reading at? You read about him reading The Great Gatsby. Child, you sleeping with the enemy. What?
Shit. I don't even know what sound effect go with that.
What?
Shit, because she is. She is. Who was the policeman who whooped your ass and made you
Where you at?
the one you thanked in your book? What?
She doing the math.
That's what I thought you was here for. The one I'm fucking?
The one she about to marry.
Oh shit.
Scheme that talk.
At the same time.
The one she about to marry with the racist wife and the woke daughter.
And cricket.
And the woke daughter.
All that shit.
Blue don't go.
Right.
Blue go, because it's about to be some bullshit down here. Meanwhile, Charlie Borderline West about to get back with Davis cheating ass. Child, the way he made chicken noodle soup, I might forgive him too. Ain't nothing like somebody who take care of you. When you sick, listen, that is one of the, near close your ears, that's one of the biggest perks of having a partner. When you sick and they just take care of you and you can just be, then you kind of wake up out your fever dream and you be like, they took care of me. Lord, if I was alone, I would have died. Lord, if I was alone, I would have died. I don't know how I made it, God. It's been a few times I woke up on a fever dream and I was just like, Nero, you took care of me. My face washed. I'm hydrated. Clean sheets. Clean coals. Eating things, as Nia say, without souls. I seen Charlie Bordelon West cutting her eyes at Davis. Girl, you can forgive him.
What she was wrong? She had an anxiety attack, right? Panic attack.
Yeah, I don't think she had COVID. She just said, I got COVID.
No.
I was like, sis,
No.
I think you got a panic attack.
She had a panic attack.
I don't think you got the COVID. I think she still like, oh, be safe. I was like, I don't know if I think she got the heavy breathing or like the lack of catching her breath. Mm-hmm. I think that's what she thought she had the COVID. And exhaustion, it could mimic the symptoms.
She was having a panic attack.
And rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, where her son?
Out starting a revolution.
Child, that's why I tell all my friends with kids, you got to live your life. Because your kids is.
Yeah, they are. Because his ass shows like, I'm going to Minnesota.
Nigga. And now I'm Ralph Angel. You went to them old Ivy schools or you chose not to go. And then here come Micah. Yeah, that's right. I had a choice.
I had a choice.
And still got one, low key.
Blue ain't got no choice.
Listen.
I can go back to Harvard if I want to right now.
Come on.
Blue ain't got that choice.
Or you need to put him in his face so he has it to at least make it. And I was like, come on. I don't know. Maybe we in the minority. I think Blue had to take his ass there. And the thing is, but if he hated it or wasn't being successful there, I would bring him out though.
Yeah.
I would say that.
But Blue was eager to go. So that's my thing. If my child is eager to go that place and we got the means and family there to do it.
Yeah.
Send his ass there.
I agree.
I see you there for summer.
Shit, they can really go there, but
Shit.
they, see if we can get the lesson plan. What is Ralph Angel gonna do?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess he can run the farm too.
Well, you know.
What is actually no? I know what Ralph Angel's gonna do. He's gonna run the farm. What the fuck is Darla doing?
She looking for a job. She looking for a job.
He's still looking for a job.
And putting up wallpaper.
Every time I look at that house, like it's an HGTV. I said, where they getting all this fabric? She must got to sell at Home Goods.
From Darla.
They got to sell at Home Goods and bought every plate in there.
Because, you know, Ralph Angel, janitor at that
Ralph Angel's working multiple
at that
jobs.
home.
And to hold him over to the farm, get back. I don't know what Darlin doing except decorating. And getting mad. They and I crossed the line.
Oh my God.
That is the prime example of black women we crossing the line. And I understood she raised Blue for a period of time, but you volunteered to do that. And when you volunteered to do that, you understood it was temporary.
We gotta talk.
It'd be different now if Ralph Angels was in jail still. You know what I'm saying? Then you do got the choice. But Ralph Angel and Darla ass is both here and among the living in the present and clear mind. And that's his mom, they mama. And so they get the final choice.
Right.
You can speak your piece, but you need to respect it. But you know, how was she? She's talking about you should be ashamed.
You should be ashamed of yourself sending that boy to that bougie ass school.
I know you lying.
He can be a manager at the Piggly Wiggly. I said, what the fuck?
It didn't even make sense. When she said it, I was just like, oh my God.
Even though, you know, depending on what Piggly Wiggly you working
Oh,
at.
it's nothing wrong with that. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just the fact that she said, like her career path or her option was better
right
than what his parents had for him. Like, that's what I'm saying. She said it like she just came with the clean option.
Right.
That, duh, of course you're going to go take this. Why would you ever take another option? Or like they said something like, we're just going to leave him on the street. Like, that's the part I didn't like about it. There ain't no wrong being a manager at no bot store. Yeah, that's what you're going to do it.
Right.
Blue like to fucking recite poetry and stars and rocks. That don't got nothing to do with a grocery store.
Sure don't.
Don't we want our kids to lean into their passions and give them the opportunities to chase those dreams?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe, I need to clarify that. It ain't about being a manager at the box store. Y'all know I don't been at the box store. None of that matter. But it's like, if you have this opportunity, take it.
Yes. Always take the opportunity.
And not just stay up under you, Aunt Vi. You and Hollywood need to live your life anyway.
Right.
Y'all getting up, both y'all getting up in age.
It sure is.
In Hollywood, too.
You know, Hollywood grieving.
Hollywood about to create a whole man group. He about to do the Million Man March down in New Orleans.
He done lost his mama. He got COVID going on. He can't open his club. What is it
Meanwhile,
called?
on the ranch, where's Proctor?
The spot. Proctor in the guest room eating the food. Because they started arguing when Vi found that gun.
Yeah.
He's like, the fuck you mean? Yeah, I'm going to have a gun.
Yeah. Especially in these times.
You need to learn how to use it.
Click, clack.
Right. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang.
All right, we're going to go and shout out on Friday.
Yes, as always, leave your 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher. You can shoot us emails or voicemails at 508.
You know what they can shoot now.
Yes.
Okay.
Or that gun. Bow, 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 bow.
Jesus.
At 508-784-1111. We got some Apple Podcast stuff.
All right, I'm starting.
Yeah.
The first one is titled Aldi's, and it's from
1178 van.
Oh, okay. Thank you. This says, love the podcast. Aldi's a European store. I think it's German store. I have been to a couple in Europe, and we have them in Atlanta. They're the best. Stop sleeping on Aldi's. They're also a page called Bougie Black Girls that shop at Aldi's. Love the podcast. Thank you. Must be my people. I will go find them.
Exactly.
Bougie Black Girls. You gonna read it now?
This one says My Lifeline podcast by S.Y. Dancy. And it says, Nira and Nyambi are super funny, down to earth, hands down my lifeline where podcasts are concerned.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you know it was a lifeline.
Our last one is titled Niram and Nyambi the Bomb, and that's from BG Hero Ben. It says, yada, 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 yada. We give y'all life, all that good stuff.
Okay,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.
I like that one. I'm going to do that to people. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. We love you.
It's
Black
whatever.
love matters.
Yes, love is ever evolving. Y'all niggas are good. Niram, this is
Take
what you
care of
want.
you. Yes. All right. You going to read this one, Niram?
Shit,
Go ahead and read our email. Come on.
No, ma'am. I'm going to leave that to you.
Okay. So it is from our girl. I'm going to call you Kay because I don't want to give you the whole name. And the title of it is Irritating Ass In-Laws. It says, hey, y'all, I hope this email finds you well and congrats on the move. It's been a minute, but your girl is living and thriving. I'm also pregnant. All right.
Congratulations.
Yes, I'm part of the COVID baby boom. My boyfriend and I are going to the courthouse to get married on Monday, and I'm very happy. Oh, congratulations. Now, what I'm not happy about is his motherfucking sisters. A while back, I asked if they wanted to be a part of the planning committee for the baby shower, and they agreed. Little did I know, this will only cause more stress and drama for my sisters. They found out about the baby shower in early March, and there has been drama between them. But between then and now, one of his sisters felt that he wasn't being represented at the shower and didn't like the food choice we chose. Boo. So basically, my sisters have been asking me to change things because they want other stuff, even though this is not their baby shower. There has been confrontation about him being represented at the shower in just a necessary job.
What that mean?
I mean, I'm interpreting this. I'm not cis, but some families, and it also depends culturally. Cis, is he civil rights black, or is he like from the islands or Africa, or you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes there's a different regard for space that men should take up, right? So I think traditionally civil rights black culture, the shower is about the woman, and not even honestly locating about a baby, right? It's really about showering the new mother and like loving on her. But I would say, depending on what culture it is, it could be about him and her or the baby, and it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, civil rights black, there's some baby showers where it was looked down upon for men to even attend. Where, now we're at the point where it's couples and it's joints and it's drinks and liquor and stuff like that. But, I would say representative if there's somewhere else. Like, what are the things he like? Is it cakes and foods that he like? Is there a game that's referenced to him? Did he invite some of his friends? Like, that type of stuff. That's what I would say. Anyway, it says, fast forward to yesterday. I asked one of my sister who was coming, and she let me know the sister who was causing all the drama isn't even coming anymore. She lives in Texas and found out that she can't take the time off work. Ooh, she don't even got the budget. Even though she knew about this since the beginning of March. His other sister let his sisters know that she was on the fence because she didn't want to get a COVID test.
A scheme.
We are requiring every attendee to get a COVID test the week of course, yes. His sister and mom have already had COVID, so his sister believes that they're immune and should not have to get tested. That pissed me off. You gotta come. You can't come. They done changed the whole shit around and now talking about they can't come. Anyway, basically, I'm pissed and I feel like I can't fuck with them moving forward, even though I don't want that to be the case. My boyfriend is equally upset because he has done a lot of compromising for them, and this is what they are doing the week before the shower. He wants to go off on them, which I'm telling him he doesn't have to, but then he needs to take and this is how they move. I mentioned the fact that this is his first kid and how they are acting is very disrespectful and inconsiderate. How would you approach the situation, and what advice would you have for a mama who has irritating in-laws? We are getting married, and I would like to not feel annoyed every time I'm hanging out with them. Shout, kind regards.
A scheme.
Okay.
A scheme.
You want to go first, and remember me?
A scheme.
What the
They on
fuck?
some bullshit. And listen, sis, I blame you, kid. You knew they was on some bullshit.
You knew they was on some bullshit?
This ain't no new behavior bullshit.
But we can't be victim blaming. So.
Oh, I'm gonna tell Kay. Kay, you knew in your spirit they was gonna be on some bullshit.
They was on some bullshit. You knew they was on
knew
some
it.
bullshit.
So don't be surprised, sis. I knew right when you said sis couldn't get the day off work. So that tells me they are in jobs and professions that they don't even have enough money to have opinions.
Right.
They can't put up for it.
They can't. They
pay
only have,
for it.
They don't even have a credit card that has, a 5-figure limit. New niggas still got 4-figure limit credit cards.
Listen. So you knew. So my advice for this situation is from the Dr. Maya Angelou. When people tell you who they fucking are, believe them. Believe people for who they are. Everybody can't be everybody to them. For you to have a happy life with your in-laws, you need to meet them where the fuck they at and have very low expectations. No, let me say,
very low expectations and very high boundaries.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Sis, what you need is boundaries. Like, that's how you're gonna have a super happy marriage. is boundaries, and then also holding them accountable or holding yourself accountable for those boundaries. Like, these are the type of folks where you're not going to be like, hey, do you want to go out to dinner?
No.
You have to be like, hey, we're going out to dinner today at 5:00 at this place. Do you want to go? Yes or no?
Right. And if you're gonna have to be like, well, I'm going anyway because this is the restaurant I want to be at.
Yes. Like, that is how you have to move through that space, because they're gonna take up every inch that you give them.
Yes. And then like
What? Go
the
ahead.
fact that they ain't got the money for it.
Let's be quiet. Some more tea.
God
Maybe they
damn.
do got the money for it,
No,
but like,
they ain't.
but
They ain't.
it's the clue of that. So I think it's just about you and your husband getting very clear on it. Also, this is your husband's first kid. Low key, y'all talking about boundaries with the in-laws. They ain't about to give a fuck about you. You need to figure out what boundaries you're gonna set with this baby. Like, who coming, when they ain't coming.
Right.
What does it look like? Like, honestly, that's the stuff I would focus
Yeah,
on.
because they're gonna try to wreck shit. And I think the other thing is that they trying to center the shit around them, and it's not even about them.
Yes.
It's about you or about y'all. It's about that baby. It's about that kid.
Yes.
But it's not about them. And I think they centered so much about what they gonna do and how they gonna do it,
Yes.
and yada yada yada.
Yes.
That it isn't. It hasn't even been about you, your boyfriend,
Yes.
or the baby.
You're going to continue to mold and bond towards them, right? Like, you're going to continue to be at their beck and call. So I think what you need to do, like, honestly, you can address it or not address it. That really don't matter. But the way I would go about it is just have very clear boundaries moving forward of what you will and won't do with them. And like, that's how you have to like be successful in that family. And the first couple times it's gonna be hard. You want your boundaries to be so tight to be like, I knew they was gonna be funny anyway because it's how they move, right? But like, that's what you want to establish, and like, that's my recommendation. And how do you create boundaries? You know, it's a bomb book that I'm trying to read next. I think it'll be really good for you. It's called "Set Boundaries, Find Peace: A Guide to Reclaiming Yourself" by Nedra Glover Tawwat. So it's Nedra, Nedra. Glover, Glover, and her last name is Tawwab. And the name of the book is Set Boundaries, Find Peace, A Guide to Reclaiming Yourself. So honestly, I think that's all that is. It's just literally boundaries, creating of who, what, when, where, how, right? So even for the shower, like, if you had a boundary that you're going to help plan, but this is the vision I want. If you're not able to do this, you now can't help plan anymore. We would have got to this end conclusion of them not coming sooner.
Yes.
And I know we like, Naomi, that's it, boundaries. I'm telling you, that's it. Go ahead and pick up Sis' book, read it step by step through that motherfucker, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. How else would you handle that?
I think that's it.
I think it'd be different if it was parents. I think parents you have to hold a little differently.
Was
But
he
sisters,
sinless?
Listen.
Fuck down.
No, don't say fuck.
Yes. Fuck down. What the fuck? You raised all this fucking hoopla and hell. We mowed for your ass because you quote unquote the guest of honor, not the baby. And now your ass not showing the fuck up.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want your punk ass gift.
Yeah.
Cheap ass shit you gonna bring. You can't even afford a good ass gift.
So
Stay your punk ass
boundaries.
at work.
Boundaries. Read the
Yeah.
book. Go through it. Apply it.
You ain't
Be so
getting no
helpful.
baby pictures.
Read
Don't
the
you-
next one there.
Don't ask to FaceTime.
No, don't do that.
Don't ask to FaceTime with the baby. None of that shit.
Near
You see the baby when the fuck you see the baby, motherfucker.
boundaries.
Boundaries.
Read the next one.
Don't be FaceTiming
Come on, honey.
because you ain't seeing this fucking baby.
Don't do that. You
Nigga.
let them see the baby.
Hell no, they can't see no fucking baby.
Miriam, see, you're going very Cancer. They can see the child,
They
but
can't
on
see
your
the-
terms.
They can't see the fucking baby.
Okay, come on.
Let me talk to them,
Go ahead.
niggas. We got one from Tony M. It says, "Hey to my people and Mabel. I love that you had a safe transition. I love that you have a safe transition to Detroit. Nira and Naomi, these colonizers I work with are the devil twice over. Thank you both for the podcast and keep me in my blackness."
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one is Black Incorporate. It's from Jay. It says, "Hey, Black Love Matters family. I have a quick HR question for Nyambi. I have an interview in 2 weeks. And from what I can tell, the company website, their organization isn't very diverse. As a Black woman, these types of things stick out to me. I want to know, is Is it okay to discuss equity, culture, competency, and diversity in the workplace during the interview process? I plan to ask what type of diversity, inclusion, and cultural competency training has my supervisor had, and are the company's recruiting efforts supportive of divorce culture, or maybe do you have DEI working groups or breakout groups to help foster greater change? But I'm not sure if that will come across, considering the fact I'm really excited about the opportunity. And the last thing I want to do is scare them over, consider a very important question. I'm not trying to shake the table, but before I get in the door, but I've done a little research, and I have to interview with an executive. Any advice will be appreciative. Oh yeah, ask it.
Ask it.
Yeah, I would go beyond that. I would ask about the retention, attrition, and trajectory of people of color, and especially Black women in your company. That's the question I will ask, because that's what you want to know. Mm-hmm. At what rate are Black women attriting? Are you retaining them? But more importantly, what has been the trajectory for Black women in this company? And then on top of that, is there any Black woman that I can talk to who currently works here?
Yeah.
Go for it. It's not off the table. If you're scared to talk about an interview process, it's going to be hell when you work there.
Yeah, because you're going to hate it every sense.
And low key, even if it's a company that don't have like a lot of diversity or they're working on it, the way in which they respond will set it up for success too. So I say absolutely ask the fucking question. I will add the piece on retention, attrition, and trajectory too.
I'll be taking notes.
Yes, that's the thing I would do. And then lastly, is there any resources and tools in place for folks of color for professional development and professional networking? Because Ets field is so small. What other ways is there for me to network? Yep, that's all we do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's all.
Got one from Shanice. What's up, Shanice? It's been a minute since we heard from her.
Yeah.
It says, I watched the one I loved. LOL. It says, okay, Nira Nayambi, I watched the one I love, and wow, I wasn't expecting it to end like that. I wonder if real Sophia got happiness in the end. Thanks for the recommendation.
Remember it was that movie with that therapist that sent them to that place and they were doppelgangers?
Oh, shit.
Remember that one?
I do remember that.
That was a good one.
That was some shit.
Oh, I'm looking for a good movie to watch this weekend. I would love to watch a movie like that this weekend. Just to hunker down.
Oh, you been looking on Netflix?
Yeah. Well, y'all know we're going to be on Chris and Carlos, and then we're going to do the little they recap. So we need to pick out what episode we're going to do, too.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. They always creating things. You know, over there on Dillard Media. They always killing it.
Dillard Media Group.
Yeah, Dillard Media Group. Stay killing it.
Shout out to them.
They got some nice shoots with them in the in the desert, and then the angel wings, and their skin is moisturized, and they looking cute. I can't wait to see what it's about.
All right. Mm-hmm. We got a couple voicemails.
Yep.
We can get on up out of here. Skype is taking forever, like always.
Niram always be rushing to cut me off and know it ain't working.
Hey, Niram and Nayambi. My name is Carmika. I'm calling from Houston. I've been listening to you all for about a couple of years now. I found you all when I was the only Black person in a 60-person organization. I just needed some other Black voices to fill my day. Mm-hmm. I'm calling because what you guys said on episode, I believe, 386 really triggered me, Nayambi, when you were talking about like a white woman being an early childhood teacher for your child.
Yeah.
And so I have a 20-month-old, and long story short, we had a situation with his white teacher. They didn't believe that he could actually talk when he was actually having full sentence communications at home.
Yeah.
And so, like, they just let him be nonverbal. And so, like, that's the prime example of what you're saying about, like, can you really trust a white teacher to like really care for your Black child, but especially like your Black male child. And so I'm all in my kids' business. I also have a 4-year-old girl, and I'm probably the mother that gets on the school's nerves because I am all about what are my kids doing, what are they learning, how are they feeling, what happened at school, why did Billy hit my dog, like all the things. And I have to be that way because I'm the only one that's going to be in their corner as far as education is concerned. Both my husband and I are in education, so we see like both sides of it.
You can see it.
And so what you were saying was like it really hit home for me because I know that I have to be all up in my kids' space because otherwise they will let them be mediocre or average, and that's just not an option, you know, going into the world as little Black kids. But I love y'all show. I love y'all. I listen to y'all every day. I've even turned other people on to y'all show. Keep doing what y'all doing.
We appreciate it.
Bye.
Is this right? And also I want to clarify, I'm not saying they no trash ass brown and Black teachers out there either. But what I'm saying is the level of that, like that unconscious bias that comes in play for white teachers, right? Like I feel like if a Black and brown teacher, if they're going to be sorry and lazy, they kind of sorry and lazy across that board, right? And it ain't because this is a Black kid, they ain't going to do that. Where I do feel sometimes unconsciously white teachers might be like, oh, well, you know, they Black. something like
Yeah.
that. Or, because they do that in the medical profession too. Like literally, there's different blood pressure readings and different blood test readings based off your race. Where they be like, oh, well, black people tend to be in this range and white people be in that range. I feel like that's what unconsciously or subconsciously happens sometimes in education and with teachers. And I just worry about that. Now I gotta make sure the teacher even own their shit, make sure they ain't being sorry and lazy, right? Because again, there are some sorry and lazy black and brown teachers out there. But then the underlying racism that they may or may not be aware of that I'm trying to over-rotate for. And then keeping one eyeball on my kid to make sure they ain't fucking trying to teach her, right? Like, that's a lot of dynamics at play.
It is.
To try to read between the lines. Like, that's what makes it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you think about? Have you thought about that or no?
Yeah, you need to get some black ones in there.
So I can, like I said, don't get me wrong. It's some sorry, I'll cuss a black teacher out too.
I will. I'll cuss that nigga out.
But it's just a different look. It's similar to like even when we're in the neighborhood, right? When we're in my parents' neighborhood, I would say, 80% brown? Mm-hmm. Or at least brown, black, that crew. Don't you feel as if a neighbor will like say something to you? It's not going to be because you black. It's
right.
different.
It's
like if we falling out for a different
Because
we have a very few white people in the neighborhood and the energy ain't the same with them. Around.
They ain't got the same energy.
Yes. And like that's what I don't. Maybe I just don't have the emotional bandwidth for it.
Colonizer Valley, white ass New England.
I barely tried to look up, honey. I just kept it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know stuff out here. That's why I'm like, kids. I'm scared.
Hey, Nirman, it's Carlos and Chris. So
Hey.
we're listening to episode 385, and we're at timestamp 54:59.
Yeah.
And Nyambi,
What?
I can't believe that. Did you see it? Derek Jackson, did you see him commend himself?
Who?
Derek
It's like,
Jackson.
can you, babes, who gets on TikTok and makes a video about themselves reacting to their own video?
He crazy.
Talk about some, and I commend him for being such a man.
I seen that fuck shit. I seen that
Never
fuck shit.
been, never will be, never have been.
You know he ain't rap tight. Y'all know he ain't
did
rap
you
tight.
just come on there and commend yourself? I just can't. I can't.
Y'all know Derek ain't rap tight.
Our episode will be out next week, so by the time this episode comes out for your next Shout Out Friday, our episode will be out. So
cool.
we can talk about the stuff YCT thing.
Jesus.
But no, Naomi, you're right. If she wants to say, that's her business. What did Naomi say? About it. And look how it looks. You gotta look at it. You gotta a certain walk to it, and you know what? I don't like that. But y'all, she like that. I love it. Who am I? I ain't Jesus. But we'll talk to y'all. Stay safe in Detroit.
Thank you. That's what I said. It looked like what it looked.
It looked like what
They
it
made a grace-based covenant.
Grace.
A base grace, whatever covenant. They made a commitment.
They made something.
Before somebody. I don't know if it was between God or if it was between Lil Nas X and them. I don't know who they made a covenant with, but they made the covenant with them. And you got to stay true to it. That's how that works. So I'm going to mind my black business. If it was me, I wouldn't have said shit. You wouldn't even know he was married. You wouldn't have got a statement out of me. I would have just been ghost on the internet. I would just disappeared. I would have got my shit cleared out like Khloe Kardashian. I'm not talking about her. Shout out to Kim Kardashian, who a billionaire though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said, I'm a billionaire. Look at my new drip. I said, you better go ahead.
Come through dripping. Drip.
And I'm going to get some of Kanye money. Go ahead. Close it out.
To submit your Black Love story, go to blacklovematters.com. To submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us an email, blacklovematters@gmail.com. That's black with no K. And to leave a comment about anything we talked about, head on over to that website. We got that SoundCloud. And we got that voicemail at 508-784-1111. Once again, that's 508-784-1111. Talk to y'all later. Remember, love is ever evolving. Peace.